Any job title in mind on your assigned picture? Okay, let's start with Rosario. Rosario, first picture. What do you think this person's job title is? Driver. What makes you think he's an Uber driver?
Well, I think he just had a quick break.
Yeah, what makes you think, based on the picture, what makes you think he's an Uber driver?
Because based on his attire, it's not an only, but then again, I just have to specify that's for a driver since he only wear a t-shirt and then the denim pants.
And a blazer as well?
Yes, and then a blazer also, or
Okay.
a formal. Like for example, if getting a passenger, so that's why there's a blazer. I cannot come up in my mind that he is an executive or whatever a highest or high position because of his denim pants and his t-shirts.
Okay, so because of the outfit, you
Because of the
conclude
outfit.
that it's a driver, an Uber driver.
Mm.
How about you, April? So since your picture also swearing, or the person's wearing the same denim jeans, but this time I think it's a polo shirt and a blazer, what do you think this person's job title is?
Yeah, I think just for me, based on that picture, he is a salesperson.
Salesperson. What makes you think he's a salesperson?
Yeah, I think he's thinking about like new sales tactics that we're gonna be using. I think he's just on break and then thinking of a new one to like update his sales scores or whatever.
Okay, so this is a good place where they can think of new strategies for sale. Okay, we'll accept that. Maina, now since your person does not wear any blazer, what do you think this person's job title is?
I think it's like someone who works at Walmart.
Walmart? Okay,
Yeah.
what makes you say that this person works at Walmart?
The jacket is very plain, and then it's like, someone comes hold cigarette, like someone's like taking a break or something.
Okay.
And with the hat, I'm not sure if that's included, but yeah, based on my perspective, it's like, someone who just took their break or someone who likes, I'm not sure what you call that person who like the gondolas in the convenience store.
Cashier?
Someone like that, yeah, like someone who works in like a
In a
convenience
convenience store or
store.
in Walmart. Okay. And because he's taking a break somewhere near the convenience store, probably where he's working out. Okay.
Probably.
Darren, now you have a totally different look.
Yes.
What do you think this person's job title is?
Based on the first glance, it's someone that works in a high-end company, and based on the quality of the full attire, my first opinion is maybe like a manager or someone hired.
Okay. And based on the suit,
Yes,
the
it's a very high
tie.
quality. So
Okay, that's the common answer that we're getting on the fourth picture. But to surprise you guys, the person on all of this picture is Mr. John Wick. You guys familiar with John Wick?
yes.
Keanu Reeves. And we can have a different perception based on how he looks, not knowing that if he is John or if he's Keanu Reeves or not. And this is why this is the best activity that we can do for our topic, which is perception management. How perception management can help us become a better leader with our peers or with our agents at the same time. Okay. So to start, since you're the first one who came in, I want you to read the objectives, please, Rosario.
Objectives: define perception management,
Okay.
determine the importance of perception management, discuss the four-step perception management, and discuss how your verbal and non-verbal gestures affect people's perception about you.
Okay. So of course, we will have to start by understanding what is perception management. And then we need to understand the importance or the impact of perception management in our current role. We also gonna teach you 4 steps on how you can change your perception from others and how your verbal and non-verbal gestures affects people's perception towards you. Okay? So to start, we'll first need to understand what is perception management. Darren, can you read the first box for us, please?
It is the process by which individuals organize and interpret sensory information, stimuli, to understand and make sense of the world around them.
Right? This is the definition that we can see in Google or in any dictionary. But to make it simpler, we have this. Maina, can you read the second box, please?
In a nutshell, perception management is the ability to create an impression through conscious activities and awareness through the impact that one's behavior could have. To be successful, you must assess yourself to determine if there is a need for you to adjust your communication style, encourage feedback, and be aware of how you adapt at every step of the way.
Okay. Now, April, can you explain to us how you understand perception management?
Yeah, I think perception management basically talks about how we manage, how we think about people. Like for the example that we have 4 teachers there. So usually as a person, we judge a person that we don't know physically, like the first thing that we saw about them, like of course the attire or the facial expressions or whatnot. So in terms of that, of the what that we have there is we will talk about how we manage that, because usually when you get to know the person, your perception changes as well.
True. So you or all of us may have their own perception towards each other, man. Especially if you're if it's the first time that you saw that person or you've encountered that person. It may be through the way they look, the way they act, the way they talk. It can be a different perception. And with this perception, it's very helpful, especially as a leader, the way we can control our agents. So perception management, we have skill and we also have the will. This is where we are being perceived by others, and this is where perception happens in the middle. So to talk about skill and will, we have to understand what do we mean by skill, what do we mean by will, right? Going back to you, Maina, in a group of, let's say, 10 agents, how would you know which of those agents are skillful and which are not?
Well, I think if basing on the perception management, I think someone who dresses well,
Okay.
like someone who like wear a good attire, like it can, it can like create an impact to like provide impression to others,
Okay.
like that they have that skill.
Right, that's correct, right? But we are being perceived based on our skill, right? So given the set of agents, which do you think is more skillful and which are not? Rosario.
Well, for me, if we base for this one for the perception that we talk about right now, first, if you ask me on how I can assure that those agents are being skilled by their on the way on how they dress. So based on our learning right now, I cannot judge by those person if we cannot communicate immediately.
Okay.
And then with that, we will just have to have a communication first, because basically, for this one, this is just like that we cannot judge the person in the first place. We'll just have to communicate and then have the feedback or one-on-one with those agents, so that at least we have an idea first if that person or if that agent is truly skilled or not.
Okay. I think we're too much advanced. We understand that our topic is perception management. No? Going back to what your current role is, let me go with April this time. You're currently in nesting, right? How do you think, or how do you measure how skillful you are based on the last 2 days that you're taking notes?
I think the way we manage tools and also like to navigate and be resourceful.
Okay. Oh, how about you, Darren? If you'll be put in a nesting phase, how would you know that you are now skillful from today rather than from the previous days that you're taking calls?
I think for me, it will depend if, I think first it would be the product knowledge, and then afterwards, if I can differentiate what I like missed before on my previous calls, and then what I could have applied for future calls.
Okay, we're going there. So how would you know that you're already doing good when it comes to your tools utilization or your product knowledge? Oh, Darren, how would you know that you're really doing good with product knowledge this time?
I think first it would be, of course, you have to read and understand what is shown, especially like on our tools, and then we can apply it on our calls, and then afterwards, customer will like be satisfied with the service that we have provided.
True, right? We are all being measured based on, in our case, the survey that we're getting from our customers. What are those metrics that we need to focus on? Mina,
First we have NPS.
NPS,
This is how the customers
yeah,
assess.
just the metrics itself.
Okay, we have the
NPS,
NPS, we have of course the SDR,
FCR,
we have the 7-day FCR.
7 days FCR, or we have CSAT, we also have NRS, right? So in order for us to check our knowledge or our measurement when it comes to our skill is if we were able to pass all those metrics. Which means that skill is talking about numbers. It's all about numbers. Now let's move to will. Under will, we want to make sure that we can be measured how willful we are when it comes to coming in work, right? Rosario, I'm going to ask you this time, how would you check out of 10 agents, which of those agents are the most willful and which are those agents that doesn't have the will?
Well, of course, I can check those ones, especially if they are coming in office early.
Okay,
And then I can see, or I can saw most of the agents that if not, they are not willing. Of course, they are coming late, and then most of them getting an absences.
okay, they're required to come in early, but they're not coming in early. That's one way to measure if they're willful enough for the company or not. April, how about you? What else can we measure?
Willingness is not willing to listen. Let's say if you coach them, they more of like they're listening, but they're not really actively listening.
True, you're giving them action plan in order for them to apply on their cause, but they're not doing it, right? We're asking them to take 10 minutes of their breaks, but they're not taking it. No? But there are some that are asked to come to take their lunch for 60 minutes, but they're taking it exactly 60 minutes. Those are people that are also willful. STR, we're asked to make sure that we release the call. Some chose not to release because probably it's a detractor call. Then it's something that we can measure if they're willful or not. So will is something to do with following the rules that we ask them to do, our policy. And this is where perception happens. How much a leader perform when it comes to their numbers and how much they are in following the policy or the rules that we apply from them. That's will. And that's where perception happens. I'm going to show you guys this quadrant. We have low skill and high will. These are leaders that are not performing that good with numbers, but they are really following the rules, the policies that they are needed. If they're asked to complete DMUs or call observation or call coaching to their agents, they're completing it, but they're not giving the numbers. We also have supervisors that are high skill and high will. These are supervisors that are performing really good and are able to complete the required task that is asked from them. And then we have the low skill and low will, which supervisors are not performing and they're not following the policy. And high skill and high will, which is really performing good when it comes to numbers, but they're not following the right task or the coaching requirements or the audits that is needed. So if I would ask you, Darren, out of these 4 quadrants, who do you think are the supervisors or the leaders that you can see that you have a good perception, that you want to idolize, that you want to have it as a model, that you want to follow?
For me, it would be the left side, high skill, high will, and then low skill, high will.
Okay. So of course, we don't want to follow or to use or to follow a leader which is not performing and also not following the policy, right? And our goal here is to make sure that all of these 3 quadrants will be moved to both high skill and high will at the same time, right? So if you notice, if you're a supervisor, check which of this quadrant you're currently at. You have to really make sure that you are going to be moved to high skill or high will in order for us to have a good impression or perception from agents, man. Clear so far? Questions? None?
Not for now.
So I'm going to move to the next page. Why is perception management important? Maina, I want you to read this for me, please.
Perception can affect collaboration and communication between employees or teams, which can then affect engagement and productivity. Perceptions that are not managed become rumors, then gossip, then backstabbing, which is destructive for an organization's environment. Unmanaged perception becomes the truth if left unchecked. Leaders, if you want to communicate successfully, influence, or lead people, you must understand how you are perceived so you can change the perception.
Okay, let's first talk about the first bullet. Perception can affect collaboration and communication, right? Think of yourself both of you, think of yourself way back when you were an agent. For both of you, think of a time where you are already a supervisor. A supervisor that doesn't have the respect coming from an agent. Did you have that situation before?
Yes.
Or how about you? For an agent, you don't respect your supervisor. Do you have that situation before? Doesn't have necessarily be in iCorp. Previous centers may apply.
Not for me.
None. Alright, let's go to Rosario. So what happened, Rosario? An agent that you really don't like or don't like to follow any of your action plan. What happened with your collaboration and communication?
During that time, I had this agent. Actually, it's because he's not listening. When I did coach that agent,
Okay.
every time I coach to him, it's just like he had his own perception. He has his own will. Just like, for example, if I coach him, this is this is your QA score. So the QA team, they need you to do this, to do that. And then he always mentioned about his own.
Okay.
So I tried him many times to do that, but then again, he just always have his thoughts that for him, yeah, it's good. So
okay.
that is just like every month, every month that he will receive the scores of the QA, so he did not pass. So I'll coach him in regards if he has a problem or not, and what kind of problem is that. So he did not mention anything. He's just like for me, like an attorney. He just like always have his thoughts that he needs to follow.
Okay. So why do you think that person or that agent is not following any of the yours or QA's action plan?
Those agents actually.
Agents? Are they plenty?
No, sorry. It's those just like three.
Okay, 3 agents.
But I just have to focus those one.
Okay.
So basically, those agents, before he starts just like from law firm, and then so
He applied in a BPO after working in a law firm.
like a VA,
Virtual
VA,
assistant
and then
law
virtual
firm.
assistance law firm.
Okay.
And then, so what I need I did to him is that I'll focus every scores that he had, especially for QA weekly. And then I cannot see that there's no improvement for that one because I think those agent had a problem.
Yeah, the question is
With his-
why? What do you think is the agent's problem? Before that, let me first go to Darren. Darren, what do you think that agent's problem? Why isn't he following any of the action plan given to him by supervisors or QAs?
I think for me, based on the story mentioned, first it's regarding a will issue, and the agent has his own action plan. Regarding why he's not following it,
Yeah, why? The question is why? Why isn't he following any of the action plan asked from him to do? Let me go with Mina. Mina, if you know any of the agent that has the same behavior, why do you think they're not following?
Well, it's either they're not favored with the kind of instruction being provided. At the same time, they have this what we call trust issues.
Okay.
Wherein they like don't. How can I say this? It's like when you're providing an instruction, it's like they are not really attentive or not really in the will to follow it because maybe they seem like it's just an instruction, so I will not like probably follow it because it's not really relevant somehow, something like that. So
Right. So they need to make sure, or they need to get some assurance coming from someone that they really know that can really help them. Supervisor, yes, it's something that they can use, but we need to make sure that we have to understand if how they perceive us in order for us to perceive them at the same time. Change their perception. And this can definitely destroy communication or collaboration between supervisors or even trainers if you don't have that perception, a good perception coming from the agent that you're being coached. This is one important reason why we have to really have that good perception from people. Next is perception that are not managed become rumors, then gossip, then backstabbing, which is destructive for an organization's environment. An example would be Darren, agents or trainers or trainees, are saying that Darren is too cocky. You guys know what cocky is, right? Darren is too cocky. He's always showing his iPhone 17 Pro Max when we were in training, right? And then those rumors would reach new trainers. I've heard that Darren is one of the cocky trainers that we have in ICOR. Then it will become, oh, that's Darren, that's the cocky trainer that we have, which is going to be destructive to organization's environment, right? So one rumor will become gossip, and then if they see Darren, they would see it as backstabbing. And unmanaged perception, and if it reached Darren, knowing that he is being now called as a cocky trainer, and if he does not do anything about that perception, it will become truth with the new trainers, batch after batch after batch. So this is why it's very, very important that we have to manage the perception of others. If we have to change it, then we have to change it, it will go to our 4-step perception management. This is how we can manage perception towards us. Now let's first start. First is always think how people perceive you without any interaction involved. How do you think that person perceives you? You can see it through their action, you can see it through the way they look at you, the way they talk towards you probably later, but you would also know the perception that is being perceived by that person without even talking to them. That's the first one. Next is, how are you actually perceived? This time it includes interaction. The words, the tone, the pace of that person that you're talking to. Do you think he is perceiving you in somewhat in a good side or in a bad side? Number 3, how do you want to be perceived? After thinking and interacting with that person, you have to self-assess yourself to check if this is something that you want to be perceived by the person or not. You would know if the interaction is good, then the perception is good. But if the interaction is not that good, then it may be a bad perception coming from the person. And you have to think and assess yourself if this is how you want to be perceived by that person or not. Because number 4, this is how we now start to change people's perception. Self-assessment is something that we have to really do a never-ending way for us to make sure that we have to self-assess ourselves, to make sure if we are being perceived good or not, because it can really help us when it comes to our role, when it comes to our communication and collaboration with people. Going back to my earlier example, Darren is being perceived as a cocky trainer. April, if you're Darren, how would you change people's perception?
So if I'm that trainer, like showing off or something, of course you have to lessen that, showing off whatever cell phone you may have. And then you talk to people, you don't distance yourself to that.
If you're being perceived by this specific action, then you have to lessen that specific action. Rosario is being perceived as a loud and full of profanity type of supervisor because we can hear her talk about profanity in the smoking area. So, Maina, if you're Rosario, how would you change people's perception?
well, of course, I would lessen the profanity word that's coming.
It's
Yeah.
just that simple, no? So in order for us to change others' perception, we have to make sure, number 1, assess ourselves, assess the perception from others, and then identify why do they perceive you that way. You can talk to that person, or you can ask feedback from others. And this is why feedback is really important. Now let's proceed to why do some of us refuse to seek feedback? Rosario, can you read, please?
Some just want to hear feedback from others. Some are afraid to hear feedback because they can easily be offended.
True,
Yes,
right?
correct.
Some just don't want to hear feedback, or they can easily be offended.
Yes.
In order for us to have a good perception, it's not a question of are you ready for feedback or not, but we have to really take the feedback in a positive way in order for us to develop ourselves, right? Next, April, can you read it for us, please?
Yeah, why is feedback important? Find out what others perceive about you by asking feedback from people you trust and spend some time on self-reflection. If you do not know how you are perceived, then you cannot change things.
There. So you cannot change whatever you are doing if you don't know how to assess yourself, how you're being perceived in as well. So it's very important that we have to do self-assessment, right? Debrief questions. Instead of these questions, I'm going to ask each of you different types of debrief questions. So I'm going to move this. Darren, what have we learned for today's discussion?
For today's discussion, it would be perception management, how others perceive you, how you can present yourself to others, how you can assess certain situations that might affect yourself, especially in the company as well.
Okay, good. Why is it important, Maina?
Well, for me, it is important because, of course, it can change the course of events in communication, and at the same time, you'll be able to probably get along with, like, for example, for trainees, you can better like provide instruction, and then, like, they'll be engaged at the
Okay.
same time.
For both of you, what behavior or action will you start doing in order for you to achieve perception management? What will you start doing after this session? Rosario first.
Well, after this session, this one, it can help me especially for achieving those. I know it's not an easy, and I know this is not will start yet after this one. But then again, I'll just have to apply those, just like good behaviors, especially for achieving those high skill and high will.
Okay,
With
I
all
like that.
those goods, like for example, with all those feedback, accept all those feedback or good feedback. Even if it's negative, we don't take that as a negative way. We just always have to take that as a positive way to apply that in ourselves. Especially for me, as what you've mentioned for supervisors before, I have a lot of profanity with my agents. So I
Just an example, huh?
Yes. And I know because I just also compare for this one based on our lesson today. So it can help a lot in order for me to achieve all those goals.
True. Feedback can really change a person.
Yes,
So always
correct.
remember that.
Accept all the feedback even if it's negative, but take that as a positive.
True. How about you, April? What will you start doing to achieve perception management?
Oh, I think the thing first is you have to know the people that you're gonna be working with, because you can't really like adjust your communication style, your management style if you don't know what type of person you're gonna be working with.
True.
Because if you're handling 20 persons, you can't expect that those people will have same personality. So they're gonna be different people. So you have to deal with them individually.
Sure. And it's gonna be starting from you. So you have a perception towards them to make sure that you can get good perception out of them as well. Right? So good job. Any questions regarding perception management? None? Alright. So if you notice, guys, the first topic is nothing about I-Core, it's nothing about any process, any task.